You ever wonder what the Bible actually says about other religions? It's a huge question, and the answer is more complex than a simple us versus them. So let's dive into it, looking at what the text itself says from the Old Testament to the New. It all starts in the Old Testament with the people of Israel. Right from the beginning, the central command is one of exclusive devotion. Think of the very first of the 10 Commandments in Exodus. You shall have no other gods before me. This wasn't just a suggestion, it was the foundation of their entire covenant with God. The surrounding nations, the Canaanites, the Babylonians, the Egyptians, they all had pantheons of gods. They worshipped Baal, Asherah, Marduk, a whole cast of deities tied to nature, fertility, and power. The Old Testament is filled with stories and warnings about the dangers of adopting these practices. The prophets, guys like Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Elijah, were constantly calling the people of Israel back from the brink. They'd condemn the worship of idols, statues made of wood and stone, not just because they were false, but because they represented a betrayal, a spiritual adultery against the one true God who had rescued them from slavery. The prophets argued, "Why would you worship something you made with your own hands when the Creator of the universe has revealed himself to you?" To them, other religions weren't just different spiritual paths. They were a turning away from the living God towards lifeless idols. Now fast forward to the New Testament. The world is different. The Roman Empire rules, and it's a melting pot of cultures, philosophies, and religions. You have the Greek and Roman gods, mystery cults, and emperor worship. It's into this pluralistic world that Jesus arrives. What was Jesus's take? He didn't spend a lot of time giving a comparative religion lecture. His focus was on fulfilling what the Old Testament had pointed towards. He consistently presented himself not as a way, but as the way. The famous line in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, is impossible to ignore. "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." This is one of the most exclusive claims in all of religious history. It positions Jesus as the unique and sole mediator between humanity and God. After Jesus' resurrection, his followers, the apostles, carried this message out into the world. Take the Apostle Paul. He was a master at engaging with other worldviews. In Athens, as described in the book of Acts, he walks into the city and sees idols everywhere. But he doesn't just start yelling, he finds common ground. He sees an altar inscribed to an unknown God, and he uses that as his starting point. He says, "So you are ignorant of the very thing you worship, and this is what I am going to proclaim to you." He respected their spiritual curiosity, but didn't validate their practices. Instead, he redirected it, arguing that the God they were unknowingly reaching for had now fully revealed himself in Jesus Christ, and that this revelation demanded a response, repentance, and faith. Throughout the New Testament letters, the apostles warn early Christians to stay away from the religious practices of the pagan world, which they often associated with demonic influence and moral corruption. They weren't to be unequally yoked with unbelievers, not out of social snobbery, but because their fundamental worldview and allegiance were completely different. So when you put it all together, what's the biblical picture? It's one of radical exclusivity. From the Old Testament's no other gods to the New Testament's no other name by which we can be saved except Jesus. The Bible presents Christianity not as the best option among many good options, but as the one true story of the world. It frames other religions at best as a human searching for a God who has already reached down to humanity, and at worst as a dangerous deception that leads people away from their Creator. It's a challenging and countercultural message, especially today, but that's the consistent testimony of the Bible. From Genesis to Revelation, it claims that God has spoken and acted uniquely and definitively in the history of Israel, and ultimately in the person of Jesus Christ. And it invites everyone from every background and every belief to find their true home in Him.